Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to my 1949 season replay. It's been a while since I've been online, but it is good to be with all of you this evening. June 5th, 1949 on the schedule, and tonight I'm going to feature the Boston Red Sox versus the Detroit Tigers. So here are the lineups for the visiting Boston Red Sox. Dom DiMaggio is going to lead it off and play center field. Johnny Pesky will bat second and play third. Ted Williams will bat third and play left field. Vern Stevens will hit cleanup and play shortstop. Billy Goodman will play first base and hit fifth. Al Zarilla, acquired from the Browns earlier this season, will play in right field and hit sixth. Billy Hitchcock will be the second baseman, batting seventh. Matt Batts, a part-time catcher, will hit eighth. And Joe Dobson, 7 wins and tied for the American League lead in wins, will pitch and bat ninth. For the Detroit Tigers, Don Callaway will lead off and play second base. Paul Campbell will play first and hit second. George Kell will be at third base hitting third. Vic Wertz in right field hitting fourth. Hoot Avers will be in left field batting fifth. Aaron Robinson will be the catcher hitting sixth. Johnny Groth will be in center field hitting seventh. Johnny Lippon will be the shortstop and bat eighth. And Virgil Trucks, who is tied for the American League lead in wins with Joe Dobson, will be on the mound for the Tigers and will hit ninth. So let's go on out to the field and get this game underway. From Tiger Stadium in Detroit, it's the Red Sox versus the Tigers. Virgil Trucks on the mound for Detroit. Dom DiMaggio to lead it off, hitting .305 this season, 5 homers, 19 runs batted in. Right-handed hitter. Full count to DiMaggio, and that ball is going to be ripped up in the middle of the base hit right past second baseman Don Callaway, and the Red Sox had their leadoff man on in the form of Dom DiMaggio. Here is Johnny Pesky playing third. Pesky, a left-handed hitter, hitting .317, no homers, 16 runs batted in. The 2-2 pitch to Pesky, and Pesky's going to rip it to left, and that ball is going to get down in front of Evers, and Pesky is on with a single. DiMaggio stopping at second base. So the Red Sox with 2 quick hits here in the first inning, with nobody out, with Ted Williams now up. Williams off to a great start, .361 average, 11 homers, 41 runs batted in. Virgil Trucks in a bit of jam here early on in this game in the first inning. So here's Williams, 1-0 pitch, and that ball is called a ball, 1-0. It came out of the glove of Aaron Robinson, but no play. Runner still down at first and second. So here's a 3-2 pitch to Ted Williams, and that ball's hit down to first, over to second, back over to first. Double play, 3-6-3 double play. So big double play there for the Tigers as Dom DiMaggio moves down to third. That play went from Campbell to Lippon back to Campbell. So now with 2 outs, Vern Stevens, who is hitting .304, he has 11 homers and 38 runs batted in, acquired in a trade some years back from with the Browns. Stevens facing Trucks 3-0, and he is still up at 3-0. The ball is dropped, but Robinson picks it up. DiMaggio does not go anywhere. So here's Stevens now with a 3-0 pitch to him, and that's an inside pitch, ball 4. So the Red Sox still alive in the first with runners on the corners and 2 men out for Billy Goodman. Goodman part-timer his season, hitting .208 with 6 runs batted in. 1-1 pitch to Billy Goodman, and Goodman rips it in the right field for a base hit. DiMaggio is going to score, and the Red Sox take the lead 1-0 with Vern Stephens moving over to third base on the hit. So Billy Goodman drives in the run with 2 outs, and the Sox take a 1-0 lead. Here's Al Zarilla. Zarilla's hitting .290 with 2 homers and 17 runs batted in. Started the season in St. Louis. Was traded to the Red Sox for outfielder Stan Spence back in May. 0-0 pitch to Zarilla, and Zarilla rips one into right field, but Vic Wertz is at the wall to make the play, but the Red Sox strike for 1 run in the first inning on 3 hits and take the early lead. So here's the leadoff man for the Tigers, Don Callaway. Callaway hitting .255, no homers, 12 runs batted in. Joe Dobson on the mound. 3-1 pitch from Joe Dobson to Don Callaway. And here it comes, and Callaway takes ball 4. So the Tigers have their leadoff man on with nobody out for Paul Campbell. Campbell hitting .286, no homers, 11 runs batted in. Left-handed batter. Callaway on first. Here's Campbell, ripped to second base. However, Hitchcock knocks it down but cannot make the play. And that is going to be scored a base hit, as it should be. So Campbell moves Callaway down to second on the infield hit. And here is George Kell. Kell is hitting .310 with a homer and 26 runs batted in. Tigers with some fireworks here in the first. First and second, nobody out. George Kell is going to hit it down to first, over to shortstop, and back over to the pitcher on a 3-6-1 double play. So that play went from Goodman to Stephens to Dobson covering, and we now have 2 outs with Callaway down at third for the youngster Vic Wertz. Wertz hitting .333 with 4 homers and 38 runs batted in. Left-handed batter Wertz winding the pitch, and that ball is going to be popped up to the catcher Matt Batts, and that's going to retire the side for the Tigers. Boston leads 1-0 in the top of the second. So here's Billy Hitchcock in there today for Bobby Doerr. Hitchcock is hitting .156. He has 1 homer and 7 runs batted in. Hitchcock, 3-1 pitch, and that's a ball 4. So Hitchcock is going to make his way down to first. And here's Matt Batts, only 37 at bats this season, but he's hitting .297 with 1 run batted in. Runner at first, 1 out. 2-1 pitch to catcher Matt Batts, and Matt Batts drives it to center, Groth back on it, and he's going to make the play for the first out with Hitchcock retreating back to first. So here's the pitcher, Joe Dobson. Dobson hitting .172 with 1 RBI. Dobson squares the bunt, bunted down to third to Kell. Kell is going to get it over to Campbell for the second out, with Hitchcock moving down to second on the bunt, sacrifice bunt with 2 outs. Here's Dom DiMaggio. DiMaggio 1 for 1 on the day, now ups his average to .310. Full count to DiMaggio, and DiMaggio hits it down to Lippon. Johnny Lippon over to first base to Campbell, and that retires the side, but Red Sox still lead 1-0. So here's Hood Evers. Evers is hitting .377 with 2 homers and 22 runs batted in. Hood Evers. 3-2 pitch to Evers, and that's ball 4. So he walks, and that brings up Aaron Robinson, the catcher. Robinson, .264 on the season, 4 homers, 24 runs batted in. Runner on first, nobody out. Robinson, ball dropped by Matt Batts, but no advance on it. 3-2 pitch to Robinson, and he takes the ball inside, ball 4. So Robinson's going to trot down to first with Evers moving down to second. Here's Johnny Grove, the center fielder. Grove's hitting .314, 4 homers, 24 runs batted in. Johnny Grove, 0-0 pitch to Grove. And that ball's ripped to center. And that ball is going to get all the way to the wall. 1 run will score. And the runner is held up at third. So Johnny Grove gets a double. Aaron Robinson, with not very much speed, gets held up at third. And the Tigers have tied this game 1-1. With nobody out, Johnny Lippon is now up. Runners at second and third. Lippon hitting .233 with 1 homer, 16 runs batted in. 3-0 Kent, and Dobson walks Johnny Lippon. So Johnny Lippon moves down to first, so the Tigers are going to have the bases loaded with nobody out. The pitcher Virgil trucks up. Let's see what Detroit tries to do here. Infield pulled in. That ball's hit down to the shortstop. Over to battle to the plate and over to first. And the lead man is thrown out by Vern Stevens. Virgil trucks safe on the fielder's choice, so the bases are still loaded with 1 out with Growth at third, Lippon at second, and Trucks down at first for Don Callaway. Callaway walked his first time up. 1-2 pitch to Don Callaway, and Callaway rips it to center. DiMaggio under it, gets the ball back in, and Detroit's going to get a run on the sacrifice fly by Don Callaway, and the Tigers lead it 2-1. So here's Paul Campbell. Campbell 1 for 1 on the day. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. 2-1 lead Detroit. Campbell 0-0 lines out to Vern Stevens at shortstop, and that's going to retire beside. But Detroit takes the lead 2-1. So here's Johnny Pesky playing third today, leading off for the Red Sox against Virgil Trucks. 1 for 1 on the day for Pesky. His average to .321. 1-2 pitch from Virgil Trucks to Johnny Pesky, and that ball's ripped to right for a base hit. Wirtz up with it, gets it back in, and Pesky is now on first with nobody out. Here's Ted Williams. Williams 0 for 1. Virgil Truck, 2-2 sets. Williams rips it into center field for a base hit. Growth up with it, gets the ball back in, but that is going to score a run, and the Red Sox tie it up 2-2. So Pesky scores in front of Williams on the long double from first base, and it's a 2-2 game with Williams down at second and nobody out for Vern Stevens. Walked his last time up. Stevens hits a slow roller to shortstop, and Lippon runs it over to first for the first out. But Williams remains at second. But here's Billy Goodman, first baseman. Goodman knocked in a run his first time up with a hit to right field. So Goodman up with 1 out, runner on second, 2-2 tie. Goodman to face Trucks with a 2-run pitch, and Goodman is going to pop this ball up, and it is going to be taken by George Kell right near home plate as he runs in for the second out. So here's Al Zarilla. Zarilla is 0 for 1 on the day with a chance to drive in Williams here with 2 outs. Zarilla, a left-handed hitter, winding the pitch. Zarilla lifts it to right field, but Vic Wirtz is right there to take the play and make the final out. But Boston ties this game up on a Ted Williams double, and it's now 2-2. So we move to the bottom of the third with George Kell leading it off for Detroit. Kell 0 for 1 on the day, now hitting .308. 2-1 to Kell, and Kell is going to slice one into right field over the head of Billy Hitchcock for a base hit. So George Kell has his first hit of the day, and the Tigers have the leadoff runner on. And here's Vic Wirtz. Wirtz 0 for 1. Playing right field, left-handed batter. 3-1 to Wirtz, and that's going to be a walk. So Joe Dobson walks Vic Wirtz. That is his 5th walk of the day. without a strikeout. So here's Hoot Evers. Evers, no official plate appearances, no official at bats, I should say, in this game. He is hitting .377 with 2 homers and 22 runs batted in. So Evers with a chance to improve on that with runners at first and second, and nobody out, and Dobson again in trouble. And that is a 3-2 walk to Hoot Evers, which now loads the bases up and brings up catcher Aaron Robinson. Aaron Robinson walked his last time. Left-handed batter. 3-1 pitch. Aaron Robinson is going to get a clean single to left field, just to the left of second base. That is going to score 2 runs, and the Tigers now lead at 4-2 on the Aaron Robinson single. So Robinson is down at first with Evers at second. For Johnny Growth, with nobody out, Grove, 1 for 1 on the day, now has his average up to .318. 4 homers, 24 runs batted in, with an RBI in this game also. So here's Johnny Grove. 2-2 pitch. Dobson down to third, over to second, over to first. 5-4-3 double play. That went Pesky to Hitchcock, over to Goodman. 2 outs. Hoot Evers down at third. And here's Johnny Lippon. No official at-bats in this game. He walked his last time. So here's Lippon up. And that ball is going to be lined over to Johnny Pesky, standing right near the bag at third. But 2 runs on 2 hits for Detroit. And it's now 4-2 Detroit Tigers lead. So we move to the top of the 4th with Billy Hitchcock to lead it off for Boston. Hitchcock, no official at-bats for him in this game, playing first base today. He is a left-handed hitter. Playing second base today. Hitchcock pops it up. Running in for that is Callaway, and that's going to be 1 out. So here's Matt Batts catching. Matt, 0 for 1. Now hitting .289. 3-2 pitch, and Batts is going to walk. So Virgil Trucks allows his 3rd walk of the day. And here's Joe Dobson, the pitcher. And he swings and misses for a call through 3rd strike on a 2-2 pitch. So that leaves a runner at first with 2 outs for Dom DiMaggio. Matt Batts is still down at first. Here's Dom DiMaggio. DiMaggio is 1 for 2 on the day, now hitting .308. Virgil Trucks on the mound, 2 outs, 1-0 to DiMaggio, and DiMaggio is going to hit a slow roller back to the mound. DiMaggio's running down the line as hard as he can, and he is going to beat that ball out for an infield single. So Don DiMaggio with an infield single moves Matt Batts to second with 2 outs. So Pesky now has a chance to get another run on the board here. Pesky is 2 for 2 on the day. He is now hitting .325. So let's see if he can get his 3rd hit of the day here, as Trucks has not been able to get him out. So he's got 2 strikes on him, and Pesky is going to lift it to left, but Evers is going to be there. And he makes the play for the 3rd out, and the Red Sox leave 2 men on, and we go to the bottom of the 4th with Detroit up 4-2. Joe Dobson out on the mound. He's thrown 62 pitches in this game. He's actually walked 6 batters in this game, but has no strikeouts. So here's Virgil Trucks. Trucks 0 for 1 at the plate today. 1-1 pitch to Virgil Trucks. Fly to right. But Al Zarilla is waiting for that one for the 1st out. Here's the leadoff man, Don Callaway. Callaway has an RBI in the name. No official plate appearances charged for Callaway. Right-handed batter. Ground ball down to 3rd. Pesky over to Goodman for the 2nd out. And here is Paul Campbell playing first base today. Paul is 1 for 2, now hitting .291. 0-0 pitch to Paul Campbell, and Campbell slams one into right field, line drive. base hit to right. So Campbell is now on with his second hit of the day. And here's George Kell, also 1 for 2 on the day. Kell now hitting .312. So Campbell is at first with 2 outs. A 1-2 pitch to Kell, and Kell's going to go back right down into right field again for a base hit. Zarella chases it down to the wall. He throws the ball in, but the ball is thrown into foul territory, and a run is going to score on that. And George Kell has a double, and the Tigers take the lead 5-2. Vic Wertz up, left-handed hitter, 0 for 1 officially on the day. Dobson down 5-2. This is a 1-0 pitch to Vic Wertz, and Vic Wertz hits it down to third. Pesky with the long throw over to first, makes the play, and that ends the inning for Detroit. But another run on the board for the Tigers, and that makes it 5-2. So let's move on to the top of the fifth. Virgil Truck's still out there with a comfortable lead. He is going to face Ted Williams. Williams is 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI. 3-2 full count pitch to Ted Williams, and that ball is hit sharply down first, but Campbell is up with it, makes the play for the first out. Defense on the right side of this infield is not that good. The rest of the infield and the outfield has very good fielding. So here's Vern Stevens. Stevens is 0 for 1 officially at the plate today, now hitting .302. 3-2 full count. Vern Stevens rips it to right, but Wertz is there to make the play for the second out. And here's Billy Goodman. Goodman is 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI. He's raised his average to 216 with limited plate appearances this season. 0-0 pitch to Billy Goodman, and Goodman is going to pop it up, and that ball is going to be caught in foul territory by the catcher, Aaron Robinson. So we move now to the top of the fifth with Boston down, bottom of the fifth. Hoot Ebers to lead it off for Detroit. 5-2 Tigers. Ebers on the day, no official at-bats. Charged to Hoot Ebers. 2-0 pitch. Ebers out to left, but Williams has it for the first out. They had him shaded over a little bit, more towards right field. So Ebers is out. Here's Aaron Robinson. Robinson 1 for 1 with 2 RBIs in the game. So here's Robinson to face Dobson. 3-0 pitch from Joe Dobson to Aaron Robinson, and he walks him. So Robinson will make it down to first. And here's Johnny Grove, the center fielder, 1 for 2 on the day for Grove. 1 RBI. He has raised his average up to 316. Grove with a 1-0 pitch. Pop-up to first base. And that ball is caught by Billy Goodman for the second out. And here's Johnny Lippon. Lippon is 0 for 1 officially at the plate today. Playing shortstop, right-handed hitter. Lippon with a 0-1 pitch down to Pesky. And Pesky over to Hitchcock at second for the fourth out and the third out of the inning. So 1 runner left. And we move to the top of the sixth with Boston still down 6-2. Al Zarilla is going to lead it off against Virgil Trucks. Virgil Trucks is now thrown 102 pitches in this game. Let's see how long the AI leaves him in there. So Zarilla is up 0 for 2 on the day for Al Zarilla. Left-handed batter, 0-2 pitch to Zarilla, and Zarilla hits it center field. And Johnny Grove moves over to his right to make the play for the first out. Here's Billy Hitchcock playing second base today for Bobby Dorr. Billy Hitchcock 0 for 1. Wine in the pitch. Hitchcock down to second. Callaway over to Campbell for the second out. And here's Matt Batts. Batts is also 0 for 1 officially today at the plate for the Red Sox. Trucks in there to Batts. Batts swings, hits it to right, but Wertz is there for the putout. And that retires the side. We move to the bottom of the sixth inning with Detroit up 5-2. Here's Virgil Trucks cruising in this game. He has thrown 112 pitches in this game, as a matter of fact. So Joe Dobson is out there. He is still in there. He's thrown 86 pitches coming into this inning. Let's see what Dobson can do. 2-2 pitch to Virgil Trucks, and Virgil Trucks is going to line it to short left field as Ted Williams moves over for that ball to make the play in foul territory for one out. Here is Don Callaway. Don Callaway 0 for 1 officially on the day, but he has an RBI as well. 2-0 pitch to Callaway. Callaway rips one to right, and that ball is going to bounce in front of Alzarilla, and Callaway is now on first base with his first hit of the day. That brings up Paul Campbell. Campbell's had a good day today, 2 for 3 at the plate. He has now got his average up to 299. Dobson with a runner on first and one out. Here's Campbell, and Campbell is going to hit it down to second to Hitchcock. Hitchcock gets it over to Goodman for the easy play at first, but Don Callaway moves down to second bases. So here is George as Campbell advances the runner. Here's George Kell. Kell is 2 for 3 on the day with an RBI. He is now hitting .316. George Kell with a 1-0 pitch from Joe Dobson, and Kell lines it into center field, and DiMaggio is there for the final out. So the Tigers go down in the 6th. We move to the 7th. Boston's still down by 3, and we're going to have a pinch hitter. The veteran Lou Stringer is going to pinch hit for who is he pinch hitting for? I do not know who is up. Let's see who is up. So he is batting for the pitcher. So Dobson's going to come out of the game, and Lou Stringer is going to bat for Joe Dobson. Stringer has only 10 at-bats this season. He has 2 runs batted in, and is hitting .200. So Lou Stringer in there against Virgil Trucks. Trucks with the 0-0 pitch to Stringer, and Stringer lifts one to left, but Evers is there to make the play. One man out. Top of the order up, Don DiMaggio. DiMaggio 2 for 3 on the day, now hitting .312. Trucks looks, 1-2 pitch to DiMaggio, and he strikes him out. Called third strike, and that is going to be Truck's second K of the day. And here's Johnny Pesky playing third. Pesky, good day for him, 2 for 3. Now hitting .324. 2 outs, Pesky, and he takes ball 4. So Pesky's going to move down to first, and that brings up Ted Williams. 1 for 3 on the day for Williams with an RBI. His average is now .360. 3-2 full count, and Williams is going to walk, so that's going to advance the runner. Johnny Pesky down to second, and Vern Stevens, big home run hitter now, up 0 for 2 though on the day against Virgil Trucks. 2 men on, 2 out. Vern Stevens with a 1-2 pitch from Virgil Trucks, and Stevens swings and misses strike 3. So after 127 pitches, Virgil Trucks still has a fastball. And we're going to move to the bottom of the 7th inning. 7th inning stretch as Detroit leads at 5-2. Here's Burke Wirtz, who will one day be with the Boston Red Sox about 9 to 10 years from now. So here's Wirtz playing right field today for Detroit, which is where he started his major league career, playing the outfield. Wirtz is 0 for 2, now hitting .329. The new pitcher is Tex Houston for the Red Sox. I'll give you his line in just a moment. So here's the 2-2, and that ball is going to be hit down to the shortstop. Vern Stevens over to first base to Billy Goodman, 1 out. Houston is 0-1 with a 4.50 earned run average. He's thrown 16 innings, but he does have 7 strikeouts, unfortunately. He also has 10 walks. So here's Evers. Evers 0 for 1 officially on the day. 1-2 pitch, and Evers is going to lift one into left field. That ball is going to be dropped in front of Williams for a base hit, and Evers has his first hit of the day. With one man out, Houston on the mound for the Red Sox. Here's Aaron Robinson. Robinson is 1 for 1 on the day with 2 RBIs. Evers at first, one man out. The wind and the pitch to Robinson. Fly ball to right. But Zarilla is there to make the play for out number 2. Gets the ball back in. Evers retreats back to first. And here's Johnny Grove, the center fielder. Grove is 1 for 3 on the day with an RBI. 3-2 full count to Grove, and that ball is going to be ripped in the left for a base hit in front of Williams. Williams gets the ball back in, but not before Evers moves all the way down to third on that base hit. So Evers is at third and Grove is at first. There's 2 out with Johnny Lippon up. Lippon is 0 for 2 on the day. He is now hitting .229. So a full count to Lippon, and Lippon is going to take an inside pitch, ball 4, and that loads the bases up for the Tigers. Houston's still out there. Virgil Trucks now up. Trucks is 0 for 3 on the day. A 1-2 pitch to Virgil Trucks comes, and he swings and misses through a nasty pitch by Tex Houston. And Houston gets his first strikeout of the day. So we move now to the top of the 8th with the Red Sox needing runs. Trucks has thrown 131 pitches so far. Do not expect to see him in here very much longer. Here's Billy Goodman. Goodman 1 for 3 with an RBI. The 2-2 to Goodman. And that ball's hit to center. And that ball is going to get by Johnny Grove. It's going to roll to the wall. But Goodman has his second hit of the day and is now on second with a double. So here is Al Zarilla. Zarilla 0 for 3. Trucks still pitching. No pitch count to Zarilla, and Zarilla's going to hit one into the gap in the left field. They chase it to the wall. Grove gets it back in, but that's another double. 4. That is a second double for Al Zarilla in this inning, and the Red Sox cut to lead to 5-3. Trucks is staying in the game. Billy Hitchcock is up. Hitchcock 0 for 2, 149 average in part-time duty for Hitchcock and the Red Sox. Nobody out. 0-1 pitch to Hitchcock, and Hitchcock swings into the right field, but that ball is going to be fielded by Big Wirtz and thrown back in for the first out. So Zarilla still is down at second. And here's Matt Batts. Trucks has now thrown 139 pitches, and the fatigue will be setting in soon if it hasn't already. So a 1-2 pitch, and Matt Batts is going to take a call, third strike, for 2 outs. And now we have Tommy O'Brien up. O'Brien is batting for Tex Houston. Tommy O'Brien, 31 plate appearances thus far this year. He's hitting .258 with a homer and 5 ribbies. So here's O'Brien facing a 3-1 pitch, and O'Brien takes it to right field, but Wirtz is right there to make the play, and Virgil Trucks gets out of the inning, not without giving up a run though. And he has a 2-run lead now going into the 9th. So the Tigers going to lead it off, and Earl Johnson is the pitcher for the Red Sox. Johnson is 1-2, but a very impressive 0.64 ERA. He has 9 strikeouts in 14 innings. 8 walks, 8 hits in 14 innings. He's only given up 1 earned run. So we have Don Callaway leading off. Callaway is 1 for 2 with an RBI. Earl Johnson on the mound. A 1-0 pitch to Don Callaway. And here it comes, and Callaway rips it to left, but right in front of Ted Williams. And that is a base hit for Don Callaway, his second hit of the day. Here is Paul Campbell. Campbell is playing first base. He's 2 for 4 on the day. So Earl Johnson out there for the Red Sox. Here's Campbell. 0-0 pitch. Campbell hits it to center, but DiMaggio is under it to make the play for the first man out. And that brings up George Kell. Kell has had a great day, 2 for 4 at the plate with an RBI. He is now hitting .314. So no count to Kell, and Kell is going to drive one into the gap into left field. I don't know who picks that up. It's too hard to tell. I don't know if that's Williams getting the ball or not. But in any event, it leaves runners at second and third with one man out. And Vic Wertz now up. Johnson's still out there. Here's Wertz. Wertz is hitless today, looking for that first hit. 0 for 3. Runners at second and third with the infield in, and Wertz is going to rip it to right field for a base hit. One run comes in, the other runner holds up. So George Kell is going to be down at third, Vic Wertz at first with one out, and Detroit leads it 6-3. Here's Herb Evers. Evers 1 for 2. 2-0 pitch to Evers, and Evers grounds it out to Hitchcock. Hitchcock over to Steedmans, back over to Goodman, and that is a .463 double play, which was badly needed, but the Tigers strike for another run. And they make it 6-3. So Virgil Trucks is still out on the mound. He's thrown 148 pitches in this game, and his first batter will be Dom DiMaggio, 2 for 4 on the day for DiMaggio. No runs batted in, but now hitting .310. DiMaggio gets an 0-2 pitch. Trucks still pumping, swinging a miss. 5th strikeout on the day for Trucks. And here's Pesky. Pesky is 2 for 3. No runs batted in. Pesky rips it to right. That's a popular place to be hitting the ball for sure. And Wertz gets it back in as Evers gets another hit. His third of the day. Here's the splinter, Ted Williams. Williams is 1 for 3 with an RBI and a man on first with one man out. Dizzy Trout is now in the game for Detroit. Trout 1-0 with a 5.4 ERA, 9 runs allowed in 15 innings of pitches. So here's Ted Williams. Let's see what Williams can do with Dizzy Trout. Trout has 2 strikes on Williams. With a runner on first, here's the wind and the pitch, and Williams is going to pop it up. George Kell down the line at third makes the play for 2 outs, and here's Vern Stevens. Stevens 0 for 3 on the day. Junior is now hitting .398. 3-0 count to Stevens, and Stevens is going to walk on 4 pitches, and that puts runners at first and third with 2 outs. And here's Billy Goodman. Trout is still out there. Goodman, good day for Goodman. 2 for 4 with an RBI. He now has his average and a part-timer raised up to 224. 2-2 pitch to Billy Goodman, and Goodman is going to slice one into left field for a base hit. Evers up with it, but the runner will not advance. As the Red Sox now have the bases loaded with 2 men out. Let's see if there's a rally here somewhere. Trout is now on the mound for Detroit, but can't get out of this jam. Al Zarilla is up. Zarilla 1 for 4 on the day with an RBI. Here's a full count pitch to Zarilla, and Zarilla is going to pop it up. Let's see who makes the play. George Kell makes up with play in foul territory right by the third base coaching box to get out of the inning, and that's the final score of the game. Last chance there for the Red Sox as Detroit wins it 6-3 behind the strong pitching of Virgil Trucks. So let me give you the totals for this game. For Boston, 3 runs on 10 hits. They made no errors, and 12 runners left on base. For Detroit, 6 runs on 12 hits. They didn't make any errors, and they left 11 men on base. Home runs in the game. We did not have a ball leave the ballpark in this game, so there were no homers. for either side. Virgil Trucks gets the win and takes the American League lead in wins. He is now 8-3, with Dizzy Trot getting his second save of the season. And Joe Dobson takes the tough loss. He is now 7-2. So, player of the game is Virgil Trucks. Hard to argue with that point. So before I leave, I'm going to show everyone the standings of the current league. Detroit on top by 1 game over Cleveland, 1.5 games over Philadelphia. In the National League, Brooklyn leads the Cardinals by 4.5 and the Giants by 5. Well, thanks everyone again for joining me for this 1949 season replay, and I will be back with you soon. Until then, goodbye for now.